We're joined today by Joe Whalen, a Pennsylvania native who's been in Clifton Forge for years, transferred to the area with Hercules Incorporated. Most of you are familiar with that company. And Joe joins us today to talk about his military experience, which included service in Korea. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
Now, who is Joe Whalen? Where did you come from, and how did you make your way down to this area?
I was born in a little place called Kenneman, Pennsylvania, and that was about 32 miles from Philadelphia. It's right on US 1. That's the big road from Washington, D.C., all the way through Philadelphia to New York. DuPont Incorporated had a lot to do with the area. They built a new school in Kennedy Square, a consolidated school. Walk in first grade and come out at 12. Very, very good education. My father was a mushroom grower.
That's an unusual business.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of money in it. I, as a young boy and stuff, I had to carry mushrooms out of the houses and stuff and work what he told me. And I think he did right. He trained me to work and to be a boy.
Sounds like you did a pretty good job. At this point, after high school, I think you said earlier that you had some nephews who had decided to go into the Marine Corps.
Yeah, during the Second World War.
During the Second World War. And so then you made a similar choice.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit. A young Marine, as most viewers may or may not know, young Marines end up at Parris Island, South Carolina for initial training.
Yeah.
And how about tell us a little bit about that experience? Here's a young man coming from just outside of Philadelphia, and the next thing you know, you're crawling with snakes and mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes I agree with, but I don't ever remember seeing a snake. We had assistant and a top sergeant major, which is six stripes, was our leader, our instructor. And you go in and let me see, we had 38, I think there was 38 people in the platoon 13. And they take you through marching, military laws, and military play. That's with the guns.
Hold on one moment. I don't see the red light flashing. Just one moment. Something's wrong.
What?
Well, it's flashing. It's just... Okay. I'm sorry. I'll have to edit that. Okay. Continue on. I'm sorry. I just didn't see the red light flashing. We're fine.
We most of it was do with military discipline, marching, and respect for your elders, so to speak. There's sergeants and stuff like that.
Learning the chain of command.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And learn discipline was the biggest. When they spoke, you better damn sight move.
And when you finished that several weeks of training, I think you said that you had additional training at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina.
Yeah, we were transferred then to division, and that's where you earned your military.
What kind of new things did you train to or learn
Well,
there?
we fired a weapon in boot camp, but it was only 13 rounds. When we went to Lejeune, we were in hot and heavy stuff.
Let me see.
I had, they found out that I had experiences with carpenter work and electrical work and stuff through my father. So they put me in engineering right away.
What kinds of things do engineers do in the Marine Corps?
Well, usually, most of our work was destroying enemy set traps and setting up our own. But you usually had a job, to do. But I eventually come out of the engineering and went into ordnance. And in ordnance, I was in bombs disposal.
Wow.
And that was.
Sounds like risky business. So after training, eventually, you mentioned in the pre-interview talk we had that one night somebody drops by and says, "What did they say to you guys? Get your gear ready, we're going somewhere." But I don't think you knew where you're going.
No, they said, get your gear ready and we're gone. And after a bit, the trucks motor transports began to build up. And they put us aboard trucks. And we didn't really know there till one of the sergeants said something. There was trouble and we were gone. And what we were is, how did we get from North Carolina to California? And they took it to Wilmington, North Carolina, and the railroad, what railroad was it? Coastal, I think it was.
The coastal line?
Yeah, and they had trains waiting on us to load us all aboard.
All the way to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Well, tell us what it was like when you left San Francisco. You had to go all the way across the Pacific Ocean.
Well, we were aboard a ship. I don't know how many ships there was in convoy, but they had the whole division. The whole division was there.
The whole 2nd Marine Division.
Yeah.
And eventually this resulted in the 2nd Marine Division with you landing at some point at Inchon.
Yeah, well, it was there we joined the 1st Marines. And we become 1st Marines. We weren't no longer 2nd Marines.
Okay, you were the 1st Marine Division. How many soldiers in that division about?
Soldiers.
Oh, sorry. How many Marines? I stand corrected. We're talking with a Marine here. This is...
Let me see,
Is this like 5 or 10,000?
I would say pretty close to maybe 8 to 10.
I see.
I can't really figure, but you hardly knew anybody. You hardly, you knew 1 or 2 people, but it was going so fast and everything, and people were all to themselves because of being jammed.
Oh, I can imagine. At what point did you? This is Inchon landing, and many of the invasions dealing with Korea were very secret. At what point did you learn that you were going to be part of an invasion force. And what kind of reaction did you have? I mean, you must have known there was trouble, but that's one of the most contentious situations in the last 70 years.
Yeah, I don't, if you read through this book, you'll find that out.
Mr. Whalen is referring to a book called One Bugle, No Drums. It's a
Marines
book
at the
dealing with
Chosen Reservoir.
at the Chosen Reservoir.
You can get all that information, that's why I brought it.
Okay, I look forward to reading it. Well, was there? You told me that you didn't believe. If we backtrack a little bit, you weren't surprised at much at Paris Island. I certainly would have been. Well, of all your military experience, which spanned 4 years, was there nothing that just really shocked you or surprised you?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're a little boy from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. You see him hit people and for, just for things that you would never think of anybody, but they had drill sergeants down there, and they used you roughly. You didn't have any. When they spoke, your feet better be moving.
You snap to it, huh? That's part of it's not the mystique of being a Marine, but
it's what they expect of you, is really what it is.